So hopefully in the two systems you're using, they use different backend providers, right? So the Twilios, the Telnexes and all that, that's going to help you if one platform is having issues with certain carriers, it's going to help you make that up with that other platform. Here's what Jermaine says. What we are doing is calling the list. Everyone that doesn't answer, we call them the next day. Each no answer, we leave voicemail and text. Were you doing that same process before, or some of this stuff newer in the new system? That question's for Jermaine. We leave voicemail and text. Friday, we call everyone again who didn't answer. I almost like that. Friday, is it a certain time on Friday? Then we move them over to my texting platform and it keeps texting them until they respond. Yeah, that's awesome. And you're driving, that's cool. No, I appreciate you typing that. If you're not driving anymore, don't get in a car wreck over there. But if you're not driving anymore, let me know about that. Friday, so are you doing it late on Friday or something? I like Saturday. We talked about this. I harp on this all the time, guys. I like Saturday for that step. What you're doing is you're doing a sweep step after it, right? So that you mix up a time, you make sure that everybody who hasn't answered yet from the week, you're catching it in a different way. I like that happening on Saturday because you eliminate a lot of the question marks of why they might not be answering during the week. So if you guys caught that, so in his process, there's two reasons I like this a lot. The sweep is one of them. Well, there's more than two reasons, but the sweep is one of them. The multiple ways to contact is something I really like, right? So you're calling them, leaving a voicemail, and then sending a text. Here's why I like that a lot, because when you call them and leave a voicemail, right, you're leaving them typically with only one action, and that's to call you back. That has a different burden for somebody, for the other person, the person you're trying to get in touch with cold outreach to these people. Or maybe it's a little lukewarm, but you're not familiar with them yet. You don't have that familiarity where it's going to engage quickly. So you're calling them, leaving a voicemail, you're only leaving one way for them to get back in touch with you, when really what you want to do is the text is just as good as long as you handle it the right way and know how to use that to move the conversation forward. Not too aggressively, but just move it forward to the right step. So I like that. I like the steps you're doing there a lot. The other thing I like that you're doing is once you exhaust them in your system, then you're moving them over to another platform. So the reason I like that a lot in that multi-step is, and hopefully you may not be getting this, but you probably are. So hopefully in the two systems you're using, they use different backend providers, right? So the Twilios, the Telnexes and all that. That's going to help you if one platform is having issues with certain carriers, it's going to help you make that up with that other platform. So I like that you're doing that piece as well. For some of you guys, that may be too much for right now to have in place. It may be too complicated to be moving this stuff around. But this is a pretty tight little process you've got here. I like it a lot. The only thing I would say is, so you call somebody on the list, right? So let's say you call somebody on Thursday, then the next day would be Friday, and then the sweep call would also be Friday. So what happens there? Do they only get two calls? You just want to make sure everybody's getting 3 to 5 I would look at it as more 3 to 5 sequences front loaded, but do it over 10 days, right? So today, next day, sweep day, middle of the week day, sweep day, something like that. Same process before, but more refined now because I know the outcome of each call. Friday, 3 to 8 p.m. Yeah, Saturday starts the texting process. I'm going to start calling us. Yeah, do the calling on Saturday. I think you'll that thing you're doing on Friday, 3 to 8. I mean, listen, specifically on the schedule, I've mentioned this, I think, a lot on this call, but you want to be, the ideal windows are, if it's during a weekday workday, the 6 to 8 p.m. block is going to be massive for you. Typically the Friday, the 6 to 8 is a little wonky sometimes. It kind of depends on the area, kind of the age of the owners you're looking for and stuff like that. That's why I like the Saturday one better, because it eliminates some of it. But if you're getting success, that Friday 3 to 8 block, yeah, that's awesome. I would guess if you dive into the Friday 3 to 8, you may be seeing that you get a lot of text success in a later window, but maybe you get a lot of call connect success more towards the 3 to 5 block. So just dive into that a little bit more, I think. But Saturday, I think you'll cover a lot of that. 1500 weekly is awesome. Everybody gets 3 calls. Yeah, that's a tight little process you've got there. I like that a lot.